there is a comic book store not too far from school, and I have classes on Wednesday, and comic books come out on Wednesday, so new comic books. So it works out pretty well, and I got a subscription box going now, and I'm subscribed to X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, X-Factor, Wolverine, the new Wolverine that's coming out next week, Wolverine Deep Cut, Wolverine Revenge, and I think that's it for now. Lots of new series that have just started. But I went today because it's Wednesday, and I didn't know if anything I was subscribed to came out, but I wanted to check and see. And I went and I asked about my box, and no, everything that I'm subscribed to comes out next week. Or most of it, I think. But what I found out that they do at the Coliseum of Comics that I thought was pretty cool is that they look at what you are subscribed to, and based on that, they'll recommend stuff. You know, they'll think, oh, well, since this guy likes the X-Men, maybe he'll like this new X-Men line, the Exceptional X-Men, that this first issue just came out today. So we'll put that in his box and see if he wants it. And I went and I said, well, I'm already here, and I like the X-Men. You know, I didn't subscribe to this because I knew it was Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost, who, you know, they're cool, but not like my favorite characters ever. But, you know, I was like, I'll check it out. They put it in my box. I'll go ahead and check it out. So I bought this, and I read it just now, and I probably won't be reading the second issue. At least I probably won't buy the second issue when it comes out. Maybe when it's on Marvel Unlimited, the app, which I recommend because it's a great app. Not a great website. The website's kind of difficult to navigate, but the app is great, and it has so many comics, and it's so much fun to read comic books, and I recommend it. But even though I'm probably not going to keep reading this, I would recommend it to probably girls, because, you know, this is kind of like the current X-Men series for girls, right? And I'm not a girl, so I liked it. I liked it enough, but I didn't love it. It's you know, Kitty Pryde's the main character, and she's like but she's like a woman now. You know, when she was introduced, the character was a girl, like a young girl, like 14, 15 years old, and is now grown up. And then now there's also like a new character, who is a young girl who is just, her mutant ability has just manifested itself, you know, as it does. And so it's cool because it's, you know, you have this older character of Kitty Pryde is now, you know, we've seen her as a child in the comics when she was introduced, and now she's an adult, and now we have another young girl mutant character who it seems that Kitty Pryde is going to take her under her wing, even though all this stuff with Krakoa has just happened, which I never read all of that. I'm getting to it. I promise I'll get to it, and I'll learn all about Krakoa and it falling, and Professor X being dead or missing right now. Not sure. That's all stuff from comic books that I probably should have read before jumping into all of this new stuff. But I wanted to jump into all this new stuff and start reading the comics as they come out, because I've never done that before. I've always just read what has already been done. I read stories that have already been done and collected in reading guides and trade paperbacks and all this. This is a completely different way. This is the way that you interact with the medium of comic books, and it's very interesting, and I recommend anyone who can do it. I think you should do it. It's very interesting, and everybody knows about comic books, but actually reading them as they come out, it's you know, it's somewhere between it's a combination of reading a book, reading a novel, looking at a piece of artwork like a painting or a drawing, and watching a TV show that comes out every week. So, you know, it's new issues come out every month or twice a month. It depends on the series itself. But for all of my woman followers, I would recommend this probably to you, and also my male followers. If maybe you'll enjoy it as well. That's entirely possible. I'm just saying that for me personally, I think, there's lots of stuff. I mean, every X-Men comic, if it's well written, any well written X-Men comic, you're gonna feel, you're gonna feel it. They're very emotional, and it's about persecution, and there's the whole metaphor of the X-Men being the X-Men they can be a metaphor for civil rights, any kind of discrimination, racial racism, homophobia, sexism, etc., ableism. It's really a great metaphor. Whenever you try to look at it very one-to-one, X equals Y, this thing is a metaphor for this thing, this represents this. There's issues when you start doing that. Issues as in problems, not issues as in comic book issues. But you start running into problems when you do that, but you shouldn't be looking at it that way. It's really good. This one is my one sentence or phrase, a very short, to sum up my views on this comic book. Kind of more succinctly, to sum up everything I've said in the past 7 minutes, this is X-Men for girls, and I don't mean that negatively. I mean that I think it's a good thing, because they made so many comic books for boys, right, and men. Used to be that was almost all they did, right? Even though obviously women and girls have read these comic books and enjoyed them, they wouldn't make X-Men for girls if there weren't already girls out there who enjoyed the X-Men that they already wrote. But this is very clearly specifically for a target audience, and I think that's cool. I think it's cool whenever something starts out as one thing, and then it evolves, becomes much bigger than they could have ever imagined, and all different kinds of people are now, it's resonating with them because it's a great story. The X-Men, it's a great story, and it means something, and it's like because of the metaphor I was talking about, right? So it resonates with all different kinds of people, and they see themselves represented in these characters and the concept and all of the great sci-fi stuff. And now it's like, I mean, here, I'll show you. I think I can, because what I'm doing right now is sort of analysis or criticism, kind of reviewing it. So I think this is covered under fair use. But here's the new character, the new mutant. Remember that? That's the name of a comic book. That's a new character, probably like a 14 to 15 year old African American girl, young woman, whatever you want to call her. I don't remember her name. They did say it, but it's cool. It's cool. Look, new character, and I'm reading this, and I'm thinking that could be some kid's favorite superhero someday, right? Some little kid is going to read this comic book, and for whatever reason, that character they're going to latch onto and fall in love with that character in the way that, like, you know, guys like me love Spider-Man, love Wolverine. And you know, when people complain about forced diversity in movies, TV shows, whatever. But I really think you can't do that with the X-Men, you know, because the X-Men's for everybody, right? X-Men's for everybody. So yeah, I recommend this. You know, based on everything I said, you'll know you should be able to figure out whether you're gonna like this or not. I definitely think it's worth reading. It's worth reading. You got to open your mind, and you got to expose yourself to art that's about people who are different than you. You know, I mean, none of us are mutants in the sense of the Marvel mutants. We're all mutants, as in we all have mutations, scientifically, biologically, what a mutation is. But you know, expose yourself to different perspectives. Learn about other kinds of people other than just yourself. And also, another thing, well, I forgot what it was. But anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Exceptional X-Men #1. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And let me know if you like the video, and maybe I will just do this for every single new comic book that I ever read. So I'll have a bunch of them next week, I think, if I do this again. But my phone is also running out of storage space, so that might be difficult for me to do if I'm recording it on my cell phone. But I also have camera with SD card. So, yeah, that's all I had for today.